Obviously, they got healthy when it counted most late in the season, and he has the Midas touch. His moves
really
have
does.
turned the goal. Flat out, Jerry Reese has made nothing but outstanding moves over the course of the last year to put the Giants in a position to win a championship. Between Victor Cruz, between Jake Ballard, his decisions on defense, his drafts, including Jason Pierre-Paul, was an absolute beast. The way he handled the OCU Manura situation, although some might say it may not have been fair to Manura, promises could have been made. From a GM standpoint, Jerry Reese still did what was best for the franchise, picking up Antrell Roll, bringing a little swagger to that locker room.
Absolutely.
You name it. You look at this roster, and it's got Jerry Reese's fingerprints all over it. Yeah, Ernie Accorsi drafted OCU Manura, drafted Eli Manning. Accorsi did a nice job laying the groundwork. Jerry Reese has then taken the ball and run with it. He already ran it in the end zone with a Super Bowl title 4 years ago, and now has a chance to put a second one on his resume. Very impressive.
Gets a chance to spike the ball. And I mentioned Accorsi. You go back to that 2004 draft. The New York Giants were very, very close to including OCU Manura in that trade that would have sent that did ultimately end up sending Eli Manning to the Giants. Think about how differently things would have been. You mentioned guys that Reese brought in, not only Jake Ballard, Antrell Roll, guys like bringing back Chase Blackburn mid-season. Those are the contribution moves that make such a big deal for these teams. Now, going across on the other side of the field, you look at implications still. Tom Brady gets a chance to win another title here. If he wins this, is he, by the end of his career, the greatest quarterback to ever, or if not necessarily the greatest, the most successful quarterback in the game?
Well, certainly if he wins this game, yes. I don't think there's any denying that. He has rewritten the postseason record books in many respects, and I just think his handle on how to run a team, his calm under pressure, and just the way he carries himself. You watch any press conference with him, you can't walk away from that not being blown away by his choice of words, his tone, calling himself out when need be, leadership abilities, all of it, check marks all across the board. And then physically, the one part that was questioned coming out of Michigan, nobody questioned his smarts, nobody questioned his toughness. Everybody questioned whether or not he had what it takes to be an NFL quarterback physically. And he answered those questions very early in the 2001 season. Tom Brady, no matter what happens in this game, is going to go down as one of the great all-time quarterbacks in NFL history. Now, if you're asking me, is he going to go down as the greatest, a win very well could change some opinions when it comes to that proclamation.
Lots of implications riding on this game. Future credentials, how people are reflected upon, all laying on this game. You could even bring up the case of the Crafts. We all know what happened there. If they can add another Super Bowl to their reign there, it really would mean so much. I don't even think we need to talk about a guy like Bill Belichick, who, in many minds, has a gold throne waiting for him in Canton, at least. And I think another Super Bowl would only further solidify that, maybe polish the gold. So I don't think that's a big concern for many Patriots fans, at least. Now let's talk about the game itself. Both teams come in. They've got their own respective questions. Rob Gronkowski, obviously, with his ankle of doom, it seems, that has taken over the sports world, the media world. And obviously on the New York Giants end, a lot of people want to know how healthy they'll be. They say they're just about entirely healthy. How much, first off, is Gronkowski going to make a difference in this game, and how important is it for all these teams to be healthy?
He's a game changer. Watching Rob Gronkowski go about his business this year, he's redefining the position, and that's saying something. Position that's had future Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez play it for as many years as he's been in the league, and Antonio Gates, and we've had great tight ends through the years, but I think Gronkowski and Jimmy Graham this year, Vernon Davis probably thrown into the equation as well, have taken it to another level. And I think you're going to see offensive coordinators, general managers, player personnel, staff members really look for these kinds of players. And there aren't guys just growing on trees that can play at the level of Rob Gronkowski. But his attitude, it just was the perfect marriage. Him and the New England Patriots and the way Bill Belichick coaches this team. And the bottom line, you go back to his collegiate days at Arizona, and you're not going to be blown away by the numbers. I'm not sure Arizona knew what they had, and he just put up modest numbers. And the Patriots saw something, picked him in the second round, and have made him into one of the premier weapons in the NFL. It's a big factor in this game if he can't go and really go, because, look, at the high ankle sprain, we saw how that limited Ben Roethlisberger after the Cleveland Thursday night game. He was never the same. He played through the pain, and I'm sure Gronkowski will do the same, but it doesn't mean that he can cut. It doesn't mean that he can make the catch and get vertical the way that he has throughout the season. Gronkowski's a guy, yards after catch, that's a huge number for him, and it will affect him on Sunday. There's no doubt in my mind. Even if he plays, I can't begin to think that he is the same guy. Now, he's still a red zone factor, and it's something the Giants will have to be concerned with.
Now, you say Rob Gronkowski's a difference maker for the Patriots. Go over to the Giants side, a guy like Victor Cruz, who, after having 3 touchdowns in a preseason game against the Jets last year, went down with an injury, was nearly cut, and then all of a sudden here has re-exploded once again in 2011 and early signs of 2012. Victor Cruz, what type of game is he going to have this Sunday?
Tremendous story, really one of the great tales in the NFL, because he was a non-factor. He was a guy that any team in the league could have had, and Jerry Reese saw something in him as a free agent coming out of UMass. He got a shot in the preseason, opened some eyes, but it didn't translate to the regular season. Did not have a catch in his rookie season, played mostly on special teams. And then, can you call him an overnight sensation? I think people in New York knew about him, but people around the league did not. I don't believe that Victor Cruz is going to be as big a factor as some people may think. I believe Belichick will do everything in his power to take Cruz out of the picture and then take his chances with Nix and Manningham. I believe they'll shadow Cruz. He will be the guy they circle in their film work and their preparation. And I know he's capable, and he's certainly got the potential to explode in this game. And Super Bowl sometimes brings out the best moments in guys, and sometimes it doesn't. You know, some guys can't handle the pressure. My sense is that it's not going to be Cruz that goes out there and dominates for the Giants to win the game.
So you believe that the Giants are going to have to utilize all their offensive aerial attacks alongside some of the ground attack, I would imagine. They need to get that going. Had one of the worst rushing offenses in the league this year.
Although, John, I think those stats were misleading, obviously because of injuries.
Absolutely.
And just the way that the season went. They needed Eli to do more things
100%
through the air.
agree.
This is a much better running attack than the numbers would indicate.
Absolutely.
Normally it's
and we saw that.
Strength that last. They're not going to be able to run. They can't. They can run effectively. I saw it in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
I did that Atlanta Giant game. I know what they're capable of, and that combination of Bradshaw and Jacobs, along with DJ Ware as a change-of-pace guy, certainly can be a factor in this game.
And we saw that towards the end of the 49ers contest, especially seeing a guy like Ahmad Bradshaw break a 30-yard run, or even when using a guy like Bradshaw, getting him to yards after catch. And, you know, he can definitely explode if a hole is opened up for him. Ian, a few more topics here quickly. I don't want to keep you too long. Let's talk about the feeling in the media right now. Now, you were in Indianapolis for a little bit of time. It was kind of like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego except Ian Eagle. There were like pictures of you floating around on Twitter. You saw you with Michelle Beadle, who's your girl, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, she's the best. She really is. I'm really thrilled for her success.
So what is the feeling in the media right now? They're trying to obviously sensationalize everything you can. What is this like? I mean, it's not too often we get to see a rematch of one of the most well-regarded Super Bowls of all time. We're going to see a rematch here. What has that feeling been like for you as a media member and in general?
Well, I think it's a reminder that whatever your preconceived notions are when it comes to the NFL, erase them. because if you would have polled media members before the playoffs started, most would have told you the Green Bay Packers would be representing the NFC. And for those who didn't say the Packers, they would have told you the New Orleans Saints. The Giants, although now it's easy to look back and say, wow, they really peaked at the right time. They've got a great roster, very balanced. But at the time, when the playoffs started, I'm not sure media members were on this gravy train. So they've had to amend their feelings a bit. And with that, the Giants have been a terrific story. The Patriots are always a good story because of the Brady-Belichick combination. I think it gives the media members something to write about, something to chat about. It's been a pretty good week leading up to the big game, but no real controversy, and I don't think the Giants are going to say anything that's completely bulletin board material, and we know the Patriots aren't. And the one big difference for me, watching this team develop and trying to size up the matchup, the thing the Giants have going for them is, in their standard pass rush, they can generate pressure on Tom Brady just with their front four. They don't need Harry Fuel to come up with elaborate blitzes like some other teams need to. We saw that with Baltimore. New England is a team